Very good morning to all of you. Such a small delay that we wanted to get my Wi-Fi. And very good morning, Professor Kaumal. Are you here with us? Professor Kaumal?
Yes, I'm with.
Right, okay. Thank you very much. Okay, very good morning once again to all of you. So today, the third session of our series, and we are going to discuss today on referencing style. So our lecturer is Professor M.N. Kaumal, who is the professor in chemistry in the University of Colombo. And so you know that the small proceedings I wanted to mention to you, that if you have not registered, even if you wish to get the certificate, then you have to register for log into the IESL website, as well as that if you have missed any sessions, earlier sessions, there were two sessions. One is from Professor Aditya Alvis, and the other one is from Professor Jagat Manatunga. Yesterday we were talking about the how to write a good literature review, and so with that you can log into our Google Mail, and you can join to not the Google Mail, the IESL YouTube channel, and you can look at that, and also that from here onwards there are many sessions going on, and I hope that all will very much useful to you. And please share the link with your friends and also that your colleagues. And I hope that all these sessions will be very fruitful to all of you. And so today, Professor Kaumal is with us to talk about the referencing style. So I invite Engineer Manthi Kandaratna to introduce Professor Kaumal to the audience. Thank you.
Thank you, Professor Banduni. Good morning, all of you. So Professor M.N. Kaumal is a professor in chemistry attached to the Department of Chemistry, University of Colombo. He obtained his first degree from the University of Colombo in 2004, and he obtained his PhD in analytical chemistry from Mississippi State University and completed his postdoctoral training at Mass General Brigham Innovation, Boston, USA. He was involved in developing syllabus, teachers' guides, practical guidebooks, resource books for National Institute of Education, Sri Lanka. Also, he is the current CEO of Colombo Science and Technology Cell, Faculty of Science, University of Colombo, Acting Director of University Business Linkage, University of Colombo, and the chairperson-elect at Sri Lanka Association for the Advancement of Science. His research interests are IP protection, management and commercialization, and development of miniature and portable electrochemical sensors. So, dear sir, over to you.
Thank you so much for the wonderful introduction about me for both of you. But small correction, actually I'm the chairperson-elect GRC of SLAS, not SLAS. So just a small correction. All right. One issue all of us facing these days, I am also at the petrol queue. So I'm doing the workshop while I'm staying at the petrol queue. So, but I really need both to be done. I need petrol and I want all of you to be in the workshop and somehow transfer this knowledge somehow to all of you. So while I'm in the petrol queue, let's try to do the workshop. So what we're going to do today, now all of us do research work. So when we do research work, the main importance of a research is to find new knowledge. So if you want to find new knowledge, you must know what the existing knowledge. So when I say existing knowledge, we all perform literature review prior to conducting a research. But one advice to all of you, literature means books and journal articles. But remember, the advice is the knowledge not only exists as books and journal articles. Knowledge can be exist as some other forms, for example, patents. Now, what people say these days, only 50% of knowledge exists as journal and books. The other 50% exists as patents. Why? The knowledge creators works both in universities and industry. So university academics, they really want to make publications. Why? Publications we consider as our currency or our credit to really go forward in our academic career. However, in industries, they think their currency is patents and earning money through knowledge, or creating knowledge and sell the knowledge and somehow earn money. That's why Samsung, Google, Apple, Toyota, or any other big companies, they spend so much money on R&D. So that knowledge they preserve or they protect using patents. So if you want to really perform a real good literature review, you need to do something else. You need to do a prior art search. So what is a prior art search? Prior art search means, prior means previous. Art means knowledge or technology. So you need to perform a prior art search, not only literature search. So first task I'm going to show you is quickly how to perform a prior art search, right? I hope some of you may know it, but let's try to find out how to do a proper prior art search. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to share the screen and I'm going to open the browser I'm using for my teaching purposes. Now what you're seeing here is the typical, this is not the one I want to show you. Let's, now this is the typical Google search. Why it's a typical Google search? If you want to find a meaning of a word, if you want to find a recipe, if you want to find something else, a picture, or let's say you want to find definitions, you type it and try to find that using this Google search. But this Google search really fine or not fine-tuned just for academic work. So if you want to really do a proper academic search or literature search, then you really need to change to something else. So what you need is something else. You need to go to a different search engine. This is called Google Scholar. Now you can type Google Scholar and you can go to this search engine. I mean, Google Scholar, the main focus is journal articles and books. So that's what you really need to understand. So let's perform a Google Scholar search. Now let's say caffeine detection, because these days I'm trying to develop a miniature sensor on for caffeine detection, because we know caffeine level in human body sometimes required to know, and caffeine level of a beverage we may need to find out. So then I did this search, caffeine detection. Now in a Google Scholar search, you can refine based on the year. Now remember, if you go to 2022, that means this work start maybe in 2020, because they start their research work, then they complete their work, then they draft the manuscript, then they submitted it to the journal, a reviewing process, then the publication happened. So anything coming today may be completed a year ago. Now that same group might be doing something little advanced. So if you read this journal article, maybe they are doing what you are thinking now. So you have to think little more than what they think. So that's why reading journal articles is extremely important when you're planning to conduct a research. Now, let's go to 2022. So in 2022, these are the articles relevant to caffeine detection. Now, caffeine detection, if you think this article is important for your research work, if you see this blue color link, on your right hand side, then that indicates you are lucky to read it free of charge. But if you can't see that kind of a link, that means you may need to get the support of somebody else to find this article. Maybe one of your friends in a different country, or maybe your supervisor, maybe the university library, maybe NSF, maybe NRC, because they also provide some access to these journals. So you have to get the support of these outside to access these articles. Now let's go to one of these articles, maybe this one. Now it provide the PDF directly. So I click it, the PDF start to download. But if you want to go to their original web page, that's the web page. So then you know how to access the web page. You know how to really download it. That's something you have to really understand in this process. Usually Google Scholar provide access to or find journal articles, and it finds books. You can sort them according to the year. You can sort them according to the alphabetical order or relevance. You can order them any manner you like. So this is the most easier search engine for academic work, and it provides the total coverage, not just chemistry, not just social sciences, not just engineering, not just medical. It provides the total coverage. But there are some search engines, they are fine-tuned to cover only a certain discipline or certain area of study. So that's what you have to really be careful when you're selecting a search engine. Now, this is for books and journals. But if you want to find patents, again, there's something else. You have to go to Google Patents. You can go to a search engine, Google Patents. Now, you might not really look for Google Patents or patents when you do the literature search, but it's a critical mistake. The reason is, whenever a patent document submitted, even though the patent is not granted, that information is available online. So patents provide most up-to-date information. So that's what you have to really understand. It provides most up-to-date information. Unlike journal articles, even though a patent is granted or not, the information is published online. But a journal article only publish if it's accepted after the reviewing process. So let's say the caffeine detection, same search. So if you do this search, you can really get information relevant to a caffeine detection. I think I mistype it. So it provides many things relevant to caffeine detection. So rather than relevance, I'm going to sort it according to the time period. So you can see even things filed in 2022, 7th or 5th of last month, even it's there. So most up-to-date information you can find in some of these documents. Give me 1 second, I have to shift the thing. So what you need to really do is based on the year, you can really refine, and based on the year, you can even see the most up-to-date information is online. And the other advantage of using this Google pattern search, some of these information published by various people, various countries in their native language. Now, for example, Korea, they published in Korean language. Japan, they publish in Japanese language. Russian patterns in Russian language. But Google's pattern search translate all this into English. So again, you can read various information published in different languages in their own language. So it's essential to really do it. Now, it's not, I will not really go through how to do a literature search, but I will really show you how to manage literature and how to really handle those when you're writing your proposal or when you're writing your thesis. Now, remember this. We found two types of search engines, Google Patterns and Google Scholar. So we performed the search and we found, let's say, an article, or we found various books and journal articles and patterns. So you find all this information and how you manage this information. So that's the question we're going to answer today. How we manage the information collected and how we really keep them in our computer. Rule number one, when you're writing a proposal, when you're writing your thesis, when you're conducting your research, always keep a backup. That's something you really must do. Otherwise, when you collect data for 1 year, if you crash your computer, then you lost all the information. When you're writing a thesis, you're done with half of it, computer crash. You have to start from the beginning. Your proposal, we never write a proposal. You should not write. We always do it, but you should not write a proposal just targeting one funding scheme. You must write a proposal when you want to write a proposal, but when a funding scheme available, you must submit it to that by changing a little bit. The reason is proposal, you always keep updating. You must have 3-4 proposals in your hand always. Keep updating with the information you find. So all these things should be kept in a backup folder. So some of you may be already using Google Drive to keep a backup. But I have a different solution for this. I'm using something called Dropbox. Maybe you heard about this, but what I'm using is something called Dropbox. Now, Dropbox is something similar to Google Drive. But the issue is Google Drive, to me, it's little difficult to handle sometimes, and it's not user-friendly that much. So this Dropbox is something really easy for me. Now, it's a free software, number one. And it's provide 2.5 GB. And it's easily accessible. Now, see what Dropbox do. When I click my file search for the browser, then it gives this Dropbox direct link here. So when I click that, all these folders are in the Dropbox. So these files really can be accessed. So that's the advantage of the Dropbox. And the other thing is, I can share some of these folders with my supervisor. If I have a student, I can share these folders with my supervisor. So when I add something to Dropbox, if the folder is shared, supervisor can read it. So sometimes thesis, rather than emailing, I rather prefer to drop that to the Dropbox and supervisor can correct it. Whenever it's done, I can get the notification. So that's the other advantage. The main advantage is if I have 2-3 computers. Now, for example, I have a laptop, I have an office computer. Then when I make any changes to the file in my laptop, it automatically updates in the office computer as well. So that's make my life easier. If not, what I have to do? Every time when I travel, I have to keep the file in a pen drive. That's the only way I can do it. And let's say I'm going to do a presentation in a different country or a different place. When I go there, I forget to really take my pen drive. So what I do, if I keep everything in my Dropbox folder, I can log into the Dropbox and there's a question, can you show how to plug in our folder list? It's like this. If you go to Dropbox, I really don't understand the question really well, but let me really show you how to get it done. You need to create an account, sign up. Then you can create an account with your email address. Then Dropbox, it's a software. You have to install that software into your computer. As soon as you install and log in with your login ID and password, that's your email address is your login ID and the password. It really install everything to your computer. That folder is automatically created and you can see the same folder tree like this. So this is already installed to computer when I install this to my laptop. And again, it shows just next to the time on your right hand side bottom corner. If I click there, it's again goes to the same place. And again, it shows most up-to-date file. Now, everything will be shown here. There's no plugin for that. You need to download the software and really install. How you download? You go to Dropbox and you click it and you can download Dropbox software and you can install. That's it. It's a free service. You can really use it. So Dropbox desktop app, you just download it. That's it. Download the Dropbox app. So when you download it, install it, that's it. Remember the advantages. You can have your Dropbox login in multiple devices. So whatever the updates you do in one computer, automatically it updates in the other one. Even you lose all your computers, you can log into Dropbox via online. You can go to anyone's computer, you open the browser, then you can log into the Dropbox. So you can recover any file. So I have my undergraduate work even stored in the Dropbox, even up to date. I have everything stored, my some of my research data and some of my students using Dropbox. So I'm sharing a folder with them. So if I found a reference, I put to the Dropbox. If they find something, they put to the Dropbox. The folder is shared. Since it's shared, I can read what they drop. They can read what I dropped. And when they have their thesis developed, give me 1 second.
පොඩ්ඩක් නවත්තන්න අනිත් පාරෙන් පිට කියලා.
Give me 1 second. Well, there's a small difficulty of maneuvering my vehicle. So, so Dropbox provide these opportunities to you. Now, what I'm recommending is always try to have a Dropbox in your computer. Even Google Drive would be fine. So these things definitely will be a life-saving tool at the end. Many of my students on the day they try to print their theses, sometimes they found their pen drive is not reading, their computer got crashed, every sort of issues. But if Dropbox is there, you can just go to any place there's internet, you can recover your file. So that's the advice. So that's the first thing you need to remember. Keep your documents always, even your references, in Dropbox. If you use in Dropbox, that's the rule number 1. Now let's try to write a thesis. Right? I think I had a Word document. Let me open a Word document. So here's the Word document. In this document, if you write a thesis, what you need references. So these references are really tells that this information is genuine and you found this information from genuine sources. Now, as a rule, Wikipedia, we are not considering as a acceptable source for scientific work. But what you can do is if you find anything in Wikipedia, you can go to the bottom of the Wikipedia page. They are providing the original reference or original link to the source. So you can go to the original link and you can find anything you want from the original link. Let me show you that. Let me go to Wikipedia. On Wikipedia, let's search caffeine. Now, when you have, let's say, caffeine, so if you find information about caffeine, don't take things from caffeine. But if you go down, you will find the original sources. So most of these are really accepted journal articles. So you can go to the original source and you can find information from that source. So use this original information source. Now, even we do this mistake when you find information from a book. What we do is we really put the book as the reference. But book was written using some journal articles and some original research work. So we forget to really cite the original contributor. So you always cite the original contributor, not the book as your source. So remember that. So similar thing can be done in this caffeine example. The Wikipedia provide information. Yes, you can read it, but do not use Wikipedia as any of your scientific source. Go to the bottom of the Wikipedia page, try to find the original source. Right. Now let me really write a thesis. Right. I think I have an example. If I can find an example, I'll try to. I think I had a draft. So this is a draft I'm writing. There's a question. Now, even in review papers, usually what I'm recommending is a review paper. If you're taking any information of a review paper with a reference, this is my view. Of a review paper, if you're taking any information with a reference, then go to the original citation. Now, let's say I'm writing caffeine is the most used substances for beverage industry in the world, but it's in a review paper, but review paper took it from a different journal publication. So I can see that when I read the review paper, that was indicated over there. So I'm using that original one rather than the review citation or review paper as a citation. So remember that that's something we really need to be careful. Always use the original one. Even it's a review paper, always try to use the original reference. That's something we should do. That's the advice I have to give for review papers. Now, when you write an abstract, now let's say here's your abstract, or let's say this is the document. So you put a reference here. I'm gonna put the reference as this manner. So this is the reference number 1, and then I put number 2. But let's say I'm putting 120 here. I have 120 references. Then what will happen? 120. Now in this document, there are 120 references. Now after reading this manuscript, or after reading your draft of your thesis, your supervisor will request, you need to add a reference after number 1. So you're going to put number 2 here, right? Because your supervisor wanted to include this sentence or include this reference. Now what's going to happen? Now you have to change everything manually from 2 to 3, 3 to 4, 4 to 5 manner up to 120. Every place you have to check and make the change. Now you understand how difficult to do that. Because if you do this manually, it's extremely difficult to do that, because by changing everything one by one, you will gonna face extremely difficult time by changing all these things. That's number 1. Number 2 is, if you have 120 articles, how you manage everything? Can you keep them as printouts? You know how difficult to take printouts these days? Printouts are extremely difficult to take. Why? The price is extremely high. So rather than wasting papers, you would like to keep everything electronically. When we refer, there's a question, when we refer the articles and gather information with the inside reference, but we can't find the original paper. Yeah, if you cannot find the original one, always you can go for a original. You cannot find original one, you can go to the review article or the book. But in most cases, the original one, if it's a really valuable information, even in review articles, even in a book, the original citation is given. That's what you really need to understand. The original citation is given in the review article or in the book, if it's important, if it's really important information. So when you find this information, it's always good to put the original one, because even you don't do it, maybe your examiner will point it out. You may have to make those changes. So that's the real advice I have to give. Now in here, changing everything is a difficult process. So how you make this change? Now to make this change, I'm suggesting a different software again. So this software is providing some of the really good resources. The software I'm suggesting is Mendeley. So I'm going to show you how to use Mendeley and where to download it. Now this is Mendeley. Now Mendeley is not the only software we have for this purpose, but I am using Mendeley. The reason is I'm using it from the first day. But if you really want to try something else, you can go Zotero. It's again a free one. You can really try it. Let me show you the welcome window. It's a 100% freeware. Without any issue, you can really use it. It's again a similar one. Mendeley is a similar one. But Mendeley has a paid version and an unpaid version. The paid version is having more what you call the space, or more driver space to handle. What if original is not accessible? Now, if original is not accessible, probably there's an issue. But in most of the time, some of these old articles are accessible. But if it's not accessible, you need to find some way to read it. If not, at least read the abstract. And if you can find the information in the abstract, you can put it. Without reading the original one, putting the reference, I'm not really recommending that without reading an article, putting as a reference. So if you want to put a reference as anything, you just need to really read it and put it. But if you cannot find original one, even though we always say put the original, you can go with the review one, but your examiners may recommend you to put the original one. And ethically, we should give the credit to the original creator or original information who really find that original information rather than the review article writer, just the information collector. So we should give the credit to the creator, not to the information collector. So that's the view of I'm having about it. But again, if you cannot find the original one, there's an issue like you said, but always try to find the original one if possible. Then it would be okay, right? All right, so let's move on with the Mendeley. Now in Mendeley, remember it's a free software, not an open source one. You can really go to Mendeley Reference Manager. That's what you really need to download. This Reference Manager really allow you to collect information, manage information, store them, and retrieve those information. I'll send this link to everyone in your chat box. You can really go to the same web page I'm accessing. Now remember, Mendeley again requires you to create a free account, right? To access it. You can create an account freely with your email ID without any issue. And my Mendeley account is more than, I think, 15 years old now. Still, it's running, but now I'm using Mendeley 2 accounts, one for teaching and one for my own work. So both these need to be really understood. Okay, so you can go to this link and see whether you can go to the same page. Please do that. So I hope you managed to access the web page, just clicking the link I sent to you. Now, first thing, you might not see my name in your link. You need to really sign in or sign up. If you have an account already, you can sign in. So that's it. Now, then you can download Mendeley Reference Manager. So you can just click here and you can download the Reference Manager. Again, if you based on your operating system, you can download the Windows-based one or Mac OS or the Linux version. So it's your choice. You can download the correct version for your operating system. Then you can install it. After installing, you need to sign in to the Mendeley. After signing in, you can really start using it. But to use it, you may need few more tools. So that's what I'm going to do next. But I can give you maybe a few minutes if you really want to install it. If anyone having their laptop, you can install it, quickly download it, and you can create an account quickly. If you like, you can do it. I'll give a few minutes for that. Right? But while you can do it, I'll go through a few more tools that maybe you would like to know. The next tool I'm going to introduce is something called Grammarly, right? Now you can see here, I'm having this open Grammarly link here. So this again a tool usually we can install to the computer. So this Grammarly tool provides us correcting facility of grammar and the language writing style. Even though we write every day, we may have some spelling mistakes and etc. On asking he or she using desktop app, Mendeley desktop app. The Mendeley discontinued the Mendeley desktop app a few months ago. I think they are supporting that for a few more months, but now they are shifting to Mendeley Reference Manager. So Reference Manager is the one they are recommending, and in the MS Word, the new version 365 really compatible with the Reference Manager. So Mendeley recommending to use Reference Manager rather than the desktop app. So Reference Manager, again, a desktop tool, but the issue is it not really look the same as the desktop app. So that's the only difference. So remember that, use Reference Manager, or even you can try Zotero. Zotero is a totally open source one, having really wonderful options. I'm using Zotero, but you might not be really comfortable using Zotero at once. But Mendeley, extremely user friendly. You can use it without much issues. So that's why I'm recommending Mendeley to start your work. But later maybe you can use something else if you really want to use something little more options. So I'm trying to explain this Grammarly software. So how you can find Grammarly? Let's go to the Grammarly web page. Now Grammarly, again, I found extremely useful software, even though I'm writing theses and etc. Right? It's a free one. Again, you need to have an Grammarly account or a Google login to use Grammarly. But you don't have to pay any money for the Grammarly basic version. It's a free one. So you can really use it after downloading. You can install that Grammarly to your computer. Now it's again giving the desktop version, Windows, Mac, and again Grammarly can be used in many browsers: Firefox, Safari, Chrome, Edge, and again MS Office, Google Docs. So both these working with Grammarly. So that's what you really need to understand. So Grammarly again compatible with many things. Again, Grammarly sometime giving this plagiarism check. I'm not sure whether Grammarly giving extremely high level of plagiarism check, but let me really show you what Grammarly can do. What's plagiarism? If you copy someone else's work and try to present that as yours, we call it plagiarism. So we can copy things from articles, we can copy things from books, we can copy things from others, but we call it plagiarism. So when you write a thesis, you always check whether you plagiarized or not. If you plagiarized, now in our university, when they check plagiarism, if they find 20% or more similarity, they may even reject your thesis. Now in other countries, they may reject and they not even give you the degree. But in Sri Lanka, we are not going to that level. We may give them a chance. Correctly, but in other countries, they might similarity higher than 20% in many countries. They might even reject your degree. When you submit articles and when you submit documents online to journals, they automatically check plagiarism. Now, many universities having what it call Turnitin facility. So Turnitin facility is extremely powerful facility to check the plagiarism. So if you ever think when you copy, no one can find it, you are wrong. There's a huge chance of finding it. Now, when I check this document, no plagiarism found, no grammar, no spelling mistake, no punctuality. So these are not, but there are some additional issues, maybe writing style, word choice. There might be some issues, but unfortunately, the free version not giving us to really see what these issues are. But if you have the paid version, you can do it. Now you can download this MS Office add-on. So you can download this, and when you install that, it comes here, this Grammarly option here. Now see what happened when I click that. It opens and it shows any mistakes, especially some grammar mistakes, some spelling mistakes. It really indicates those mistakes. So you really need to find these mistakes. Hopefully using this software, you might be able to correct. So let's put a wrong choice of, let me write something. We was, it's wrong anyway, we was in the library. I misspelled that. See what happens. Anyway, was underlined. Why? It should be were, so it's corrected. The library is spelled library, correct spell. So that's what Grammarly can do. But remember, you need internet to use Grammarly. Grammarly can be installed to your browser. Grammarly can be installed to your MS Office. Even LibreOffice compatible with Grammarly, if I remember correctly. If you are a person who using open source software, LibreOffice is the best one for me for word management or document management. So then the Libre one also having Grammarly compatibility. Now, I hope you had enough time to install and really create a login to the Mendeley Reference Manager. When you install Reference Manager, you will see something like this. Now, this is Mendeley Desktop, the earlier version. I'll open it just to show you how it's look like. So that's the login page for the Mendeley Desktop version. However, we go to Mendeley Reference Manager, the new version, right? So if you have a login, when you log in, this is how you see it, right? The Mendeley Reference Manager. So take a minute and let's try to understand these things in the Mendeley Reference Manager. It's extremely warm. I have to put my car AC. So if it's a little noisy, please let me know. I'll switch it off. But if you can manage and understand what I'm saying, I'll keep my AC running for a little while. And then I might be able to be a little comfortable here. Now, in Mendeley Reference Manager, you can create folders. So these are the folders. Now, these folders may be your proposal 1, proposal 2, your PhD, your maybe MSc work, you can put here. So these are folders. You can even create a new folder. And you can create groups. Now, in a group, you can share with somebody else. So some of my students, they have Mendeley, they're sharing the folder with me. So I have a folder shared with them. So what's the advantage? Whatever the reference they had, I can see, I can add reference to their folder if it's relevant to them. So I can do it quickly. Now, you can create folders, you can create groups. So that's what you have to understand. But one thing you need to always remember, whenever you do any changes, you have to synchronize. So this synchronization happens automatically, but sometimes if you can't see anything you added recently, you have to really manually synchronize and make it happen. Now, this desktop app requires 2 more tools to work. Under tools, you can find those. web importer and site for Word or MS Word. So those two need to be installed in your computer. So let's look at what is this web importer. So I'm going to click on web importer. If you have your software installed already, just click on web importer. When you click the web importer, it goes to this place. So based on your browser, you need to select the correct web importer. So if you're using Chrome, here's the one. Firefox, here's the one. Safari or Edge. So I'm using Chrome. I'm going to click this one. So when I click that one, actually it goes to my default browser. I'm going to go to my teaching browser. So here's the Mendeley one. I can type Mendeley Chrome extension, right? So Mendeley web importer. We can install the web importer, then we can really communicate our app with the browser and collect information. That's what we really do. Now, when you're installing this web importer, from here, you can install. Now, in my case, I have this one already installed, so it's asked to remove. But if I don't install, what happens is it indicates you can install it. So when you install this web importer, you will get this letter M here on the right-hand top corner. But if you can't see, sometimes you need to really pin. Now this one pinning, you can make it appear. Unpinning, you can make it disappear. So that's what you need to do. Rule number one. And again, something I really found recently when I'm using this web importer, whenever you really open a journal article, this web importer running another really a small window on top of your current window. Sometimes if I close that window, the web importer stops responding. So you need to really leave it running. If you see a small box kind of thing running on top of here, let me try to show you that. If I'm lucky, I might be able to show you again. So when I'm running this, it's not really showing. Let me check this. Nope. Let me try to start from the scratch, right? Give me 1 second. I'll show you because I really want to show you that. If not, you might really think this will not work. Google Scholar. Then we did the caffeine search. Then here's the article. So when I click article, you can see here the small window running. Leave it running. Don't close it. If you close it, Mendeley will stop working. I hope you had seen that small box kind of a thing running. Leave it running. Do not really close it, right? If you have your Mendeley install, I give you another 2-3 minutes to really install this web importer app to your computer. Few minutes. Then I'll continue the journey how to use this web importer app. Maybe 2 minutes. Then I'll continue with rest of it. You can install the web importer app. And again, you need to log into this app. Now I'm already logged in. But when you click on this, it will ask you to log into the app. So you can use the same email ID and the password. So please try to open it and try to log in. I give you maybe 2-3 minutes. Then we'll continue with the rest. If you need more time, just let me know. And if you have any questions, please add to the question to the chat box. I'll try to answer. Few minutes, we'll continue with the rest. Any questions? Anyone facing any difficulty of installing the web importer? Now remember, after installing the web importer, if you can't see it, if you're using Chrome, you need to click on this and make it appear, right? Pin it. Then only you can really see the icon of letter N. Then what can you need to, you can see these things only when you log in, but you might not be able to see some of these options until you create something. But if you log into the Mendeley Web Importer app on your browser, you can really access with your desktop reference manager. Now let me show you something. Now if you create a account folder here, let's say today work. So when I create the folder, it automatically synchronized. Now it indicates synchronized. And this one shows that folder. So if you go down, you will really see that folder in here. So still it's not really synchronized. So let me synchronize it again. So this will really show that folder in my under collection, private groups. See why it's not really the collection. Let me sign. So you can see these folders in here, all the folders you have created. There's a question, first one, there's a sign in only, no sign up. Let me try to open up a private browser and try to show you. First question, there's only sign in, no sign up. Yes, sign in means when you click sign in, it will ask, do you have an account or not? If you have an account, you type, or you can really oh, it's not showing. Now you can type your email address. Let me type my email address. I don't have account. When you click continue, it will ask you to put your name and create a password, everything. Then you can register. Or it asks, I have already an account. If you have an account, you can log in using this one. If not, you can feed your information and you can create an account. There's another question. Opera, it's not support. Chrome, Safari, Edge, and Firefox, it's only support. Even I'm using Opera as my my default browser. Yeah. There's another question. Do only Mendeley Web Importer support ScienceDirect like site? No, it will support any web page, web pages, books sites, anything. It support everything. Even you can capture a web page, no issue, right? There's another question. Folder will appear Preloading web, yes, you need to reload the web, then the folder will appear. So whatever the folder you create will appear after reloading everything. So that's you have to really remember. That's something remember when you use it. All right, any more questions on web importer? Now, when you have the web importer, now let's say you want to capture this information. Capacity 2 GB capacity. I'll tell you why the capacity is required later, but after creating the account, you said about browsing Google Scholar, then what next? Now, what you need to do is after creating the account, you need to really download the Mendeley reference manager. So you go to Mendeley web page, download reference manager. So you can create an account here, or sign in or create an account, or you can go to download. After creating the account, you can download. You can create an account, you need to download it, then you need to really install the reference manager to your computer. After installing the reference manager, you need to go to the place where the shortcut is. You can double click, open the reference manager. So I already did that. After opening, if you're not really logged in, you need logged in. So after logging in, you will see your web browser. All right, there's a question. If we get a scan PDF, scan PDFs are not really working with the Mendeley Reference Manager, but if you have the original PDF, you can drag and drop. You go to the Mendeley, you can really go to the article. You can drag and drop to the browser. But if you have a scan document, what I recommend is open your browser, scan document, open your browser, and Google search the title of the article. You have a scan document, Google search title of the article, go to the original page of that article, then you can capture using the Mendeley Web Importer. So this is how Mendeley Web Importer works. Let me really. So if this is, if you need any article, you type the name of the article. Let's say electrochemical detection of caffeine, this and that article name. You Google search, you go to the original page of the article, then you can capture it. Now, if you want to capture this one, what you have to do is you click on Mendeley icon. First one is the article, and the PDF is not found freely. If you want to capture this, you can select the folder. Here are the folders you have. So the folder I created today work, remember I created that folder. It's there. I want to add this article to that folder. Now I show you the folder first. That folder is empty yet. No reference collected into that article. But after I add this article, you select the folder, you click add, and it's add to the system. Now it's already captured by Mendeley. Still, it's not appear. It's appeared. It's automatically refreshed and synchronized, and that article is appeared. It's added exactly this time. My time is different from what you see. It's a different country time set here in this laptop. So that time is appearing. So it's just now it's added. Now you have a reference, but remember when you add the reference, double check this information, because sometimes Mendeley really not capturing some of these correctly things. Someone asked, said, did you unload the Zoom recording? No, I did not done anything to Zoom recording. I just had it keep recording. I never stopped or anything. Let me stop sharing and see. No, it's recording. It's still recording. Recording is happening. Recording is happening. Is Mendeley automatically detect and gather reference detail while drag and drop? Yes, if your article is really a good from a good journal, the PDF file, the original PDF file having all the information. You might not be able to really search article using Mendeley, but if you have anything already uploaded, or if it's in their system, then you can go to the search and find, just typing a keyword, you can find whatever the article in the Mendeley system you already added. Or there's another option called search for article online. It's again another tool. You need to really go to this service provided by Mendeley. It's like a Google Scholar search engine. Mendeley have its own search engine. You can see caffeine. So it's only giving one, unfortunately, because it's that's the only way you can do using Mendeley. But whatever you inserted to Mendeley, you can search using this search engine. No issue. That's something you can do, right? So this is the article we added to Mendeley. Now we can really work with this. Now you added one article, but I have multiple article added. So any question on capturing information using Mendeley? You know how to install that to browser? There's a question. If we did the reference detail manually, will it change to original reference detail? No. If you manually feed anything, no, after synchronizing, it will never change back to the original one. Now, for example, if you add a comma or make few changes, it will not going to change it when you synchronize. So don't worry about it. Then there's another question. Paid version article from third-party library. No, Mendeley never detect whether you have download the article using a genuine source or maybe a torrent. No, Mendeley will never detect because you are not sharing these articles with anybody else. You are keeping it in your archive. So Mendeley will never detect that. So remember, no issue of detecting such things. Mendeley will not detect. But remember, if you are using ResearchGate, ResearchGate some time ago, maybe 5-6 months ago, they had an issue with Elsevier and Wiley. So if you have any article uploaded to ResearchGate, the publisher is Wiley or Elsevier. And if you're keeping those articles public, anyone to access, then they convert them to private because they had some legal issue with Elsevier and Wiley. So remember that. But Mendeley, there's no such issue. Remember it. I have another few questions. When we add the web importer, will the paper be stored or download later or just after? No, if the paper is available freely on the time we are downloading, it will download it automatically. But you can select not to download or yes to download. Now, for example, let me go to a different article and show you. Now, under settings, you can say add PDF is available. You can make it unchecked or checked. Even when you are downloading, you can select not to add or not to download or yes to download. Let me go to this nature one. Mendeley. It will really tell me whether it's, yeah. Now, PDF is available. So it will really download the PDF when I add this to see the PDF is there. So then the PDF will be added. So when you adding it, the PDF will automatically download. If the PDF is not found, it indicates not found, but PDF will be added. PDF is check mark, reference is check mark. Earlier one, only reference was checked, but now PDF is checked and the reference is checked. So that's the advantage. So let me go to the, so if I synchronize, see what happens. Today's work now. So see the PDF is there. File available for download. If you like to have the PDF, you can download it. It's your choice. But if you don't want it, you can just leave it. So when you go to the information, see under file, full text PDF is available. So here's the full PDF. Under file, the full PDF is available. Now, when the full PDF is available, you can read it, you can highlight, you can do many things with that PDF. You install the web importer, but don't show anything when I click it. Remember, I told you when you install the web importer, restart your browser. When you're restarting your browser, when you click on the M icon, it starts running a small box. Don't close that box. Leave it running for some time, then it will really stabilize. Do not close down that small box. If you close it, then thank you so much. I have 38 minutes remaining. I believe I can really manage within the 38 minutes. Thank you so much. I really lower the brightness. Hopefully I can get well and go back home within next 15 minutes time. Thank you so much for the awareness. I really appreciate that. Hopefully I'll get back home within next. All right. Thank you so much again. The line is moving. All right. Let's go back to questions. Right. There are a few more questions I need to answer. In order to sign into Mendeley, do we need to? No. I'm using my Yahoo email address. Don't worry. It's old email address. No, you don't need institutional email addresses. You can sign in with any email address. Yes, in Israel lecture, recommended use Excel file to manage. Yes, I will tell that also. Now, this Excel file is an important tool when you have managing these articles, because when you read the article, you need to really remember why that article is important. You can do it using Mendeley, but what Professor Manatunga really told you is exactly correct. Even I recommend that for all the students. When you read the article, you need to have an Excel file, prepare article, title, maybe author, publishing year, why it's important. Did you read it because of information, methodology, or what the reason? Then when you really cite in documents, you can easily find it and get it done. So that's the advantage of doing that. So remember that Excel file approach is a really good one. If you can do it, it's extremely recommended, and I also think it's a good approach, right? Let me read next question. When we search previous research, it will appear only the research paper. How we download report, questionnaire, and only some journals really publish these supplementary information. So when you read the article, if you need to find the questionnaire, etc., the only way is if journal is not providing that, you need to write to the corresponding author and request. Can you please give this because I'm this and that? So that's what you can do. No, Mendeley asking Harvard style. No, Mendeley can use to, can use with any style. I will tell you at the end how these styles can be inputted or how this style can be inserted to Mendeley. So I will do that after a little while. So don't worry about it. Okay. All right. So let me really try to go to the next phase. Now, to use Mendeley, you really need to install another tool, right? That tool is called Web Importer. So you go to Mendeley, under Tools, this install Mendeley site for Microsoft Word. So we install Web Importer, then we installing this Mendeley site for me. So it's giving through the Microsoft library. You may need to sign in to the Microsoft library to download it. In many cases, it's providing freely, but sometimes you have to sign into the library. So get it now, you can get it. You can install it to your, so it asks your Microsoft account ID and everything. You can create a free Microsoft account to download that, no issue. If you're using anyway Microsoft, it will really there. Or you can do is whoever download it, you can really get it. When you install that, I'll tell you what you really see. When you install that, under Mendeley, you can't see anything. But when you go to MS Word, under reference, you will really see all these things. Now, these things will not appear in your laptop or in your MS Office. The reason is this is for the previous version. But the new version, you will see Mendeley site, this one. So when you see this icon, that means you need to restart your MS Office, then it really work. You can really work with Mendeley now. So when you click here, it open up your Mendeley library. So now if you want to add a citation here, you need to really keep the cursor there. Wherever you want to add the citation, keep the cursor there. After keeping the cursor, now I'm going to remove this previous one because I no longer require those. Let me all right, it's really giving me a pain asking to make some updates. No, you don't need institutional email addresses. I am using Yahoo email address to my Mendeley account. You don't need institutional email IDs. Don't worry. Just Yahoo, Gmail, whatever will work. Don't worry. Now, if you want to cite, you keep the cursor, then you go to Mendeley, and you can really find the document from your online account, and you can update. That's what you can do. It's really continue. All right. I have a question. Yes, if you have the PDF download from any journal, just drag and drop. It will capture all the information, but double check. That's it, right? You can drag and drop any articles you already downloaded without any issue, right? So I'll close it and I'll show it to you using a different.
All right, so here's how it works. When you type something, so you want to add a reference here. Reference under reference. Inside, and select the relevant reference from the folder. Let's say recently added. So this is the first one. I'll select site. So that's how it's appear. It appears automatically. Then you keep writing. Then you need another one. This one. Site. Automatically do it. Now then see what I can do. If I need to create a bibliography, I have one click, right? I can go here, insert bibliography, home under home, insert bibliography. I click that. It automatically insert the bibliography. So that's the advantage of using this technique. And there are more advantages. Now let's say you want to go for Harvard style. How you go? Citation setting, change citation style. You need Harvard. Harvard is there appearing. Search another style. Harvard. So Harvard style. Everything will update to Harvard style. That's the advantage. Now let's say you want to add a reference here in the middle. So if you want to add something in the middle, when you add something middle, everything update automatically. So that's the advantage of this method. So you can change it to any other style. You can update it. You can add anything from the middle. You can make any changes. So that's the advantage of here. But again, if you have any other style, you can put citation style, change style. You can really search another style. You can search more styles and get it. That's the advantage of these two, right? Okay. So that's what I really want to cover. But I have a few more things to really discuss. If you have any questions, I can answer. And if you want me to show any of these things again, I'm happy to do that. If you have any questions, please ask. And I'm really thankful for you. While I'm staying in the queue for Patrol, I really managed to get it through, and the support given all of you, I really appreciate. So if you have any questions, please ask. When capture from web, that PDF down. Yes, if the PDF is available freely, it will indicate it's available freely and it will download. Now, you can see here on my right hand side, the PDF is there. That's why it's indicating. So if I need, I can download. So it's automatically download after you give in the command. So it's now downloaded. It's downloaded because it's available freely. Only if available freely, it's downloaded. Now it's showing a green color check mark. So when you have this green color check mark, if you go to this article, the PDF is there. When you click it, you go to the PDF, you can read and even you can highlight. See, some of these things are highlighted. You can highlight these. In yellow color, you can highlight. You can put some notes here. You can do multiple things. Even you can put comments, right? So you can change this. So on the Mendeley, you can make these changes as long as that PDF is there. You can access it. Even you lose your computer, those PDF will be never gone, because if you reinstall Mendeley from somewhere, and if you edit it, then it will really download everything. So not need to worry. Everything can be captured, right? 2 more vehicles, then I can get petrol. So, okay, 3 more questions.
Yeah. That's what I showed you. You can really add anything to the middle. Now, let's say you have 100 references. If you add the third one to the middle, third become fourth, fourth become fifth, everything will be changed automatically. Nothing to worry. So without anything. Mendeley works with LaTeX. Nope. Unfortunately, if I remember correctly, Mendeley may not work with LaTeX. So you have to be little really look into that. I'm not a person using LaTeX because I'm not a person heavily using these mathematical equations, other things. So Mendeley may not work with LaTex. Next, how to form group and share article. Now, that's something you need to do. So this is the group. You can right click and go to manage groups. Under manage groups, you can add members. You can invite members. Under invite members, you can put the email address. They need to have a Mendeley account. Take their Mendeley account email and you need to really invite them. So that's it. So you put the email address and you invite. That's all you have to do. So you can invite up to 25 members to a group. Maybe you have a research group, maybe with your supervisor. You can share it. That's what you can do. So that's what you have to do with Mendeley. Okay, few more questions. Don't mix both at the same time. If you want to go with Zotero, go with Zotero. If you want to go with Mendeley, go with Mendeley. Don't mix the both. If you mix the both, I don't know what will happen. Yeah, I'll send my email address. If you need my support, please feel free to email me. All right, that's my email address. There's a question, what is normally entered under tags? Is it when you're writing a document, when you enter something under tags? Can you please explain a little bit more about what you meant by tags and that? Then I may be able to really provide you a little detailed answer. Any more question? Anything else you want me to clarify? Okay, there's another question. No, Mendeley will keep it in the cloud storage. You need to have internet to access, but it will keep a backup copy in your computer. Even you don't have internet, whatever you downloaded, you can access. But Mendeley will create a copy or a backup in the cloud storage at the same time while it downloads. With Google Docs, Mendeley might not work, but I'm not recommending to write your thesis using Google Doc. I'm always think good to write your thesis using LibreOffice or MS Word because Google Docs might not have all the options you required when you're really drafting a thesis. Yes, you can really show the numbers. Wait, I'll show you with the numbers. Give me 1 second. I'll show you with the numbers. Now, number, let's try to find a citation style with using numbers. Another style, search for style, ACS. See, now it's changed to superscript number format, right? So you can, whatever the referencing style you are using, that style will be connected from the Mendeley side. But again, the advice is whatever the citation style you are using, do a Google search and check whether it's correctly done by Mendeley. Because you need to really go all these things and make sure the commas and hyphens and all the semicolons are really added correctly. So double check everything before you really think Mendeley is a perfect friend of yours. Don't we need to review the automatic? Yes. Whenever you grab something Mendeley, just open it and make sure the names are complete and everything. Double check and make sure, because sometimes things can be missed, because some journal sites are not really making everything perfectly connected with Mendeley. You need to really look at the author information given by the journal or given by the institute. Now, for example, chemistry department, University of Colombo, we are using what really ACS style, but some of these zoology and other, they are using a different style. Chicago, Vancouver, Harvard, AP, medicine, they're using. So that means you need to really talk to the coordinator. You are if you're studying MSc or something, talk to the coordinator. But if you're studying maybe let's say a degree program, again, talk to the undergraduate coordinator. They will really tell you the citation style they are using. They have a document. You take the document and maybe you can check with the Mendeley whether that style is perfectly correct. So that's what you have to do. And the other thing is, if you're writing a journal article, then you may have some really crazy issues. The reason is some journals having a really weird citation style, Mendeley not giving. So then you might have issue with that. You may have to really do it manually. But most reputed journals, they have accepted and famous citation styles. Without any issue, you can really get it done. Yes, I have another 2 cars in front of me to the pump. So hopefully I got lucky this time. All right. Thank you for really being with me through this journey from 1 kilometer, 1.5 kilometers till the petrol pump. Another question: how to insert merge reference from Mendeley more than one reference? It's easy. It's easy. You go here in your document. You keep the cursor the same place. Add a comma. If you want to add another one, go here. Just add it. It automatically comes. Now everything change also. See, 1, 2, 3 become 4, 4 become yeah. That's what happened. Everything happened. No. If you download multiples to different folders, it never detect. But if you try to download same thing to the same folder, it may say you already have this document. Sometimes even it allows download. Maybe you have to manually remove sometimes. But it definitely allows to download to multiple folders. But for the same folder, sometimes they say
something. No, yes, I don't know. Sometimes they might really say something. Okay, so you can add here multiple references, no issue. You can. Okay, now another question. Let me see whether I correct Harvard style. That's right. That's good. All right. Any other questions? Yeah, in Mendeley, you can do that also. But ask question is, can you really put a tag to the? Now I understand. Yes, you can really put it to favorites, but you might not be able to really put that kind of tags to do that. So remember that. You might not be able to put tags and really identify. That's why that Excel file, Professor Manatunga's advice, you need to really, remember, because that is really important to keep it. All right, now it's my turn. You need to give me a few minutes. Then I'll join back with you all after I get the pen. Right. Give me 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, I got the petrol, and if you have any questions, you can continue asking. I'm gonna keep answering the questions until the time comes to finish the workshop, or till you all run out with the question. So please shoot your questions. I'm trying my best to answer all. All right. Okay. Yes, usually referencing not put at the beginning of a sentence. Either you have to put reference after a certain word or at the end of the sentence after the full stop. If you put the reference after the full stop, that indicates the reference is relevant to the whole sentence, everything in the sentence. But if you put a reference after a word, that indicates that reference indicates relevant to that single word. Now let's say caffeine can be detected using many methods, then you put a reference. Then it indicates the whole sentence. But if you say caffeine can be detected using spectroscopic methods, a reference, comma, HPLC method, a reference, comma, electrochemical methods, reference, and visual methods, another reference. So then there are 4 references for each method given. But if you put a reference at the end of the sentence, that means the whole sentence is relevant to that reference. So that's how you need to really understand. Okay. All right, let me see whether there are any other questions. Okay. Let me try to get it. I might not be able to see sunlight. One second. All right. Mendeley Android, I'm not sure. Maybe double check with the Mendeley web page. They might have Android compatibility since there are tabs and other things, but I'm not sure whether they're really compatible with the Android version. So double check that. That's a question I missed actually. Mendeley only cover references. You cannot really do anything with that. Other than that, if you really want to do other things, if you have to really work with MS Office or some other software to handle documents. So that's something that really understand. Any other solution for LaTeX? Actually, I'll check that. I never thought of LaTeX. Actually, it's my mistake. I should have known that LaTeX is one of the famous thing used by these engineers and physics scientists. So I should have known that. I really missed that point. So I will really try to find the answer. If I find any answer, I will definitely communicate to all of you through the email database you have given to the organizers. That's what we have to really understand. Let me check any other questions. The recording is done. The organizers will really share the recording with all of you. So nothing to worry. They will really contact all of you, right? Now, references are not really counted for a plagiarism detection. We never count references for plagiarism detection. References are excluded when we doing a plagiarism or similarity search. We exclude references and perform the similarity search. We never count the references for similarity or plagiarism detection. So don't worry. All right. Recording they will share. And any other questions? Anything you want me to clarify? All right, there's one more question. Let's see. No, while you are writing, add references. But bibliography, you can do at the end. But while you are writing, add references. Before you send to the supervisor for correction, create the bibliography. Because in some formats, they want bibliography to be appear after each chapter.
But in some formats, especially for thesis, for some thesis formats, the bibliography they want to add at the end of the thesis. But in some cases, they would like to add it after each chapter. So based on what they like, you have to really do it accordingly what they want. Right? So my recommendation is add references while you're writing, then you remember it. Then creating bibliography, you can do it at the end. That's okay. A reference means at the end, you will write a number or the author year format at the end of the text. Let me show you. These are references, right? These are references, this number or year author format. But the list of everything, this section, this is called bibliography. So that's the bibliography. The rest is the reference or references. All right, let me check. All right, I think I'm doubt whether 365 is required or not. Maybe try to really update your current version and see whether it's compatible, because it should compatible. If not, you can go to a different document or try Zotero. Zotero will work perfectly, but again, Zotero having all these videos, similar process, you can try Zotero. Yes, you can create the bibliography separately. You can cut and paste bibliography anywhere you like. No issue. 365 and 216, yes. Then my suggestion is, if you have not having 365 and 216 MS Office, try to go to this what you call Zotero. So that's my, because it's again compatible with anything, right? Yes, you can create bibliography chapter wise, or you can create at the end, cut and paste some of the bibliography section to the other chapter. You can do it, no issue. If we include some information as reference material inside the introduction or in middle of text, will it? No. Now, when you, that's why the 20% margin is given. Now, let's say in this document, when let me really show you. Give me 1 second. I show you what this plagiarism detection look like. Give me 1 second. I log into my Turnitin account and I show you how it's look like when they detect plagiarism. Now, let me show you a thesis. Now, when we submit a document, it shows the similarity as a percentage. So if it's go more than usually 25, it starts indicating a different color, right? Let me show you one document, one with 40%. When you really open this document, all right, see how it look like. Now, acknowledgement, I will not really go through that. Now, this is how it's look like at the end. Now, this is introduction. So this number 1, this section copied from this source, number 1. So it's appearing. So Emman Khan, so it's a publication. Similarly, if you go down, it shows each section copied from what. Now, anyway, references are already similar because you can't write reference in a different manner because these same reference will be appearing in any other place. So that's why usually when we do a similarity search, we go to the refine of filter one, we exclude bibliography. Then we redo the search. Then the number goes down. Earlier 40%, now 36%. What? I exclude the bibliography. So usually we do that when we, now bibliography is no longer highlighted or references are no longer highlighted. So that's how it's done when we perform a similarity search using a powerful, like a Turnit kind of software. All right, so I showed you how to get it done. So see, it's so easy. We upload just a PDF or anything. It indicates the percentage. So when I see a huge percentage, it anyway indicates the student try to really copy things from here and there. But remember this. I always tell my students to email their drafts. Even though they put it to Dropbox, I ask them to email their drafts. Then sometime even mistakenly you might write things similar to somebody else's way of writing. But if you can show it, my first draft is this, is edited, second draft, third draft, at the fourth draft, it's happened this manner. Then you can really make a case and no issue of really proving that you did not plagiarize. So emailing can be a really good thing sometimes. Now, 2013 may not be compatible with Mendeley. So what I'm recommending is the Zotero. Zotero will really work with Mendeley. Sorry, with these older versions of Microsoft Office. So really, again, see, similar. Again, you can create folders. This will come. Again, it's really look nicer than Mendeley, and the options are really good. But I was now thinking Mendeley putting so many restrictions. Maybe soon I will also change to Zotero in these workshops. But Zotero can do multiple things with Mendeley. In addition to what Mendeley provides, Zotero can provide many other things. Let's see Zotero compatible with LaTeX. Zotero. Yes, Zotero can really work with LaTeX. Yes. So if someone using LaTeX, Zotero is the option. Again, they are saying Zotero using Mendeley with LaTeX again works. But I'm not sure whether the free version will work. But Zotero definitely works with LaTeX. So if you're using LaTeX, go with Zotero. I'm sure it will work. Yeah, now, correct. Now asking question when we upload it, Turnit document to Turnit, is there a special way to upload? Yes, there's a special way to upload. The special way is, I'll tell you what the special way is. I'll quickly make a upload to show you how it's done. Now, when you make an upload, you need to really select. Now, when you make an upload, Turnitin, keep a copy of it. And even your report, if let's say you are writing a manuscript, before you submit to a journal, you check the plagiarism using Turnit. But you forget to select no repository. So you upload it and goes to a repository of Turnit. So when the journal editor upload it, it shows your one against your work. So it's a huge issue. Then you have to write to Turnit using your admin in the university and turn down your document they have uploaded there. So we always recommend, if you write in journal articles, if you write in theses, go for no repository. Then remember, it will not save by Mendeley. Not in any of these searchers gonna capture your one against your one. So go for no repository option. So that's the advice. Any other questions? I think we're almost reaching the 2-hour mark. If there's no questions left, I'm happy to. No, Turnitin not free. Turnitin not free, but I can give you a free tool again if you really want to use it. Dupcheck, but it's not really powerful as Turnitin, right? It's not powerful as Turnitin. You can try this Dupcheck. Let me show you. Duplichecker, yes. Duplichecker. So this is something, it's free, but there's a paid one also. You can really check it, but it's not really powerful. It's only checking online and other. Not really everything is checked by this one, but you can try it. And it's not free, extremely expensive. I don't think even universities having money to give Turnitin accounts for all the academics. So remember that it's not free. So Dupcheck or Duplichecker can be an alternative, but not powerful. Remember that, right? Yeah, I mean, Zotero having even more option than Mendeley. So you can try Zotero. Zotero is extremely powerful. I think I should change to Zotero from next time or not, because Mendeley getting this free version less and less features, so it's really not good for me. Yeah, even with Zotero, all these options are there. Hopefully, it will give you better options than Mendeley. So, but you need to really get trained for Zotero little work. Yeah, you can download the Mendeley database and you can upload to the other one. You can do that. You can go to export and you can BibTeX. You can export it as a BibTeX. Then it will be captured from Zotero and upload everything. Right. Let me show you how to do it. Give me 1 second. Share screen. Go to File, Export All. Hope you can see my screen. Go to File, Export All, BibTeX. It will really export everything to a BibTeX file. BibTeX file can be captured from Zotero. I'm not sure whether Zotero having drag and drop, but it may have, because if I remember correctly, Zotero having all the options, Mendeley having. So drag and drop option should be there. Not sure, but I think it should be there. Any other questions? Grammarly is most oftenly used for grammar and spelling mistake to check those. But plagiarism check, Grammarly is not really strong. Anyway, Dupcheck is also not that strong. but I go with Dupli Checker for plagiarism checking, Grammarly for spelling checking. But free versions are not really strong. But anyway, when you write a thesis, you can find somebody having a Turnitin account, get it checked. Maybe every university library having a Turnitin account, so you can go there and get checked. How to convert Excel file? Convert to Excel. Excel again, same thing. If I remember correct. Let me check. File export. Oh, Excel file. I'm not sure whether you can convert to Excel, but there's an option earlier they had. No, I don't think at the moment I have an answer for that one. I'm not sure whether you can convert things to Excel file. I'm sorry, I don't have an answer for that one. That's something I need to really look and get back, whether we can convert this into Excel file. Any other questions? All right, then, since there's no questions in the chat box, I think we can finish the session. Oh, there's a question. Will it keep our own copy or reference of a link? Mendeley will keep information in that folder. As soon as you delete everything, I believe Mendeley will delete it. So I'm not sure what that what the question, but Mendeley having a backup in the cloud storage. So if you delete something, delete. If not, it keeps there.
If there are no more questions, Professor Kaumal, shall we move to the winding of the session?
Yeah, I'm happy to, yes.
I think that, yeah, thank you so much, Professor Kaumal. It's really wonderful and very informative session. And I think that you have fulfilled the expectations of the participants today. And it was a kind of a hands-on and answered very well. And I think that all of you have cleared most of the questions you had. However, that in future you will meet Professor Kaumal once again in another lecture called commercialization. And so till that session, that we are thanking you so much for joining with us today and also accepting our kind invitation. And Professor Kaumal, thank you so much. So we hope that to meet you after 2-3 weeks time. And so I because we came to know that you are in trouble with the queue, petrol queue and all things, but you managed to conduct this session very nicely and answering all the questions. As always, Professor Kaumal, thank you so much. And so,
thank you.
Yes, and to the participants, I have several messages that if you want to register, still that you have chance, please go to the ISL website and register. And I have posted to some of those, or otherwise that you can just go to the ISL website and go to the courses, CPD courses, and then you can find out there our this scientific writing series. And the next week on Saturday, we plan to have the session 4 with Professor Priyan Dias. However, that he asked me to postpone it to the 10th of 10th of the September. And therefore, in the session 4, that it will be conducted by Professor Methika Vittanage, and it will be developing a research proposal. And it's very important, and if you really want to start from beginning to end, that to know that how to develop a good research proposal with whatever the problems you have, please join on next Saturday from 9 a.m. Then sometimes it will be carry on 9 Saturday and Sunday both. We will deliver the lecture on developing a research proposal. And so for the participants and also the IESL, thank you very much once again. And especially to I'm thankful our lecturer, Professor Kaumal Hitasha, who is from the professor in chemistry in the Department of Chemistry in the University of Colombo. And also he's a CEO of University Business Linkage Cell at the University of Colombo, and he has a lot of experience of the commercialization. So that he definitely will be with us once again in the lecture in the commercialization, because once you have done the research, so you have to do the commercialization, you have to do the patenting. Anyway, that I'm not the one, he's the one who knows about all those things. So whoever the engineer, especially we do research and we do a lot of things to our industries. However, before we are putting into the abstract and also the publication, of course, we have to do the patenting locally or internationally, as well as if we find out something out of our research, of course, we have to do the commercialization. If not, that the country will not develop, will not make new things. So therefore, let's listen to him once again in a few weeks later. And for today, Professor Kaumal, thank you so much once again, accepting our invitation and being with us on behalf of the IESL. Thank you so much. Dear participant, thank you so much once again. We will see you on next Saturday at 9 a.m. And the assistance is given by Mr. Chamira Priyantha from IESL, as well as Engineer Manti Karunaratne, who is with me all the time in the scientific committee, scientific writing committee, as well as on behalf of the Science Library and Publication Committee. And the chairman of Library and Publication Committee, Professor Ranjit Dissanayake, I'm thanking you this time also. And dear participants, we will see you once again next week, Saturday, 9 a.m. With Professor Methika Vittanage. Thank you so much. Have a good day, please.